Right, please do not omit yourselves, please. Right, so Global Intergold. So who we are. Now, Global Intergold is an international online gold store, and they deal in buying and selling of 999.9 physical investments, 24 karat gold bars. The gold bars are supplied by London Bullion Markets Association, LBMA. Now, LBMA are accredited gold refiners. They are based in London. The online shop deals in 1 gram of gold to 100 grams of gold bars. And they have been in existence for just over 7 years and boast of over 200 million members in over 200 countries and still rapidly growing. Global Intergold was launched in 2010 and its headquarters is based in Geneva, Switzerland. Their registered office is based in London, Covent Garden, and they also have offices around the world. Now, their main aim is to make gold affordable to just about everyone. Now, the company has developed a revolutionary marketing program, allowing us to pay up to 90% of the value of investment gold bars at the expense of rewards. Global Intergold is EU regulated and as a result needs to be compliant with EU regulations. So thereby requires a KYC process. So KYC basically means know your clients. Now this involves providing 2 forms of ID. One of them should be a photo ID of yourself and the other one is a proof of address. So please guys, if you're new, whenever you're filling up the form for Global Intergold, make sure that you use your right name. Now, Global Intergold is 100% risk-free. You never lose your investment with Global Intergold. And clients can cancel their registration within 14 days of making their purchase, and their funds will be returned back to them. Now, how do you become a client with Global Intergold? The criteria for becoming a client is simply getting involved in one of the marketing incentive programs, which I'm going to talk about, and also introduce a minimum of 2 people to do the same. You then encourage your 2 people to also do exactly what you did by also bringing in their own 2 people. Now, the success formula within Global Intergold, this is you. Let's just assume this is you. And you bring in the minimum requirements of 2 people, all right? And you're ready to start earning in gold bars or in cash. Now, the marketing incentive programs I'm going to talk about, there are 5 marketing incentive programs within Global Intergold. So we've got the Gold Set Standard, we've got the Gold Set Multicard, we've got the Gold Set Gold Line, we've got the Gold Set Smart, and we've got the Gold Set Pro. So these are the 5 marketing incentive programs within Global Intergold. Now, each one of these marketing incentive programs has its own investment fees and also its return on investments, which I'm going to talk about. And all marketing incentive programs are subject to 15% management fees. Now, these are all the 5 marketing incentive programs I talked about earlier, the investment fees and also the return on investments. So Gold Set Standard, your investment fees for Gold Set Standard is 540 euros and your return on investment is 3,500 reward units. Now, when I say reward units within Global Intergold, that is how we get sort of rewards for what we do. Now, each reward unit equates to 1 euro. So whenever I say reward units, just equate that to be euros. The next one in line is Gold Set Multicard. Your investment fees for this is 375 euros and your return on investment is 1,400 reward units. The next one is Gold Set Gold Line. your investment fees is 1,050 euros, and your return on investment is 7,000 reward units. The next one is GoalSet Smart. Your investment fees is 275 euros, and your return on investment is 900 reward units. And the last one is the GoalSet Pro. Your investment for this is 450 euros, and your return on investment is 3,600 reward units. Now, out of all the 5 marketing incentive programs I talked about earlier, if I just go back, all right? So out of all these 5 marketing incentive programs, the cheapest of all is the GoalSet Smart, which is 275 euros. Now, because of that, that is what we pitch for everybody because it's easily affordable at 275 euros. When you look at the fees here, that is the cheapest. Right, so how do we then start? Now, this is the GoalSet Global Smart Table. Right, you can see here it's got 7 slots. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, it's got 2 sections to it. So we got section 1 and section 2. And it's got 3 levels. So we got level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now, whenever you come in onto this table, there's always going to be a minimum of 3 people that occupy the slots, or a maximum of 6, right? So as you can see here, we've only got 3 people that occupy this particular board here, okay? The small prints that you can see under the big names, under the bold names, basically indicates that these guys here have brought in their 2 people, all right? It doesn't mean that these 2 people are on this table, but it basically indicates that their 2 people are somewhere on the smart table as well. So you can easily identify that they have got their 2 people with them. Right, so whenever you come in from level 1. And as you're coming in, you get pushed down the levels until you finally find yourself in level 3. As soon as you find yourself in level 2, you need to make sure that you've got your 2 people with you. The last thing you want to happen to you is find yourself on level 3 and then you're struggling to find people. So the earlier you start looking for people, once you find yourself in level 2, then the better for you. So like I said earlier, the investment fees for this particular table is 275 euros. Now there's 22.3 euros processing fees. That is a one-off payment. So all in all, your total that you're going to pay the first time you come in is 297.3 euros, right? And this gives you a return on investment of 900 reward units. Now, once you find yourself on level 3, okay, once you get pushed down and then you find yourself on level 3, the minute that the first 2 slots here get filled, right, the company pays you 450 reward units. The table splits and then you get 450 reward units. Now, there's a strategy that we use within Global Intergold. All right. What we do is we take the first 450 that we get within Global Intergold to go and establish our presence on the other table. So you're not taking any money from your pocket the minute you start with Global Intergold. The only money that comes out from your pocket is the 297 that you pay the first time when you start the business. Okay. Subsequently, nothing else comes out from your pocket. So the first 450, as soon as these 2 slots there gets filled and the table splits, the first 450 that you get, you're going to use that to go and establish your presence in Global Pro table, which is the next table I'm going to talk about. Now, whenever the second slot here, the 2 slots here in this second section gets filled, right, you get another 450 reward units. Now, that is subject to 15% management fees. Now, 15% of 450 gives you 67.50. So if you take 67.50 away from 450, you are then left with 382.50. Now, what do? What we do is you want to reinvest yourself back onto this table. So you're going to take 275 away from 382.50 okay, you're going to take 275 away from that, and then you are left with 107.50. Now, that goes into my finances, okay? There's a countdown of 14 days, right, before your reward unit actually goes into your goal set standard account. Now, subsequent cycles. Remember that you are reinvesting yourself back onto this table, okay? Now, what happens is this. Again, same process. You're going to find yourself, you don't have to bring in any other 2 people, because the 2 people that you brought in the first time are always going to qualify you on this board anyways, right? So you don't need to bring in any other 2 people, right? Within Global Intergold, we say yes, right? The company says bring a minimum of 2 people. That's just in bare minimal requirements, right? But it's advisable for you to actually come with more than 2 people. Now, the reason for that is some people are going to be more active than others, so you don't want anyone to slow you down, right? So whenever you come back onto this table, okay, you're repeating this table, you don't need to bring any other 2 people with you, all right? And once you come in from level 1, obviously, you're going to find yourself on level 2, and then again, finally, in level 3. All right, I'll come back to that. Okay, so the minute you find yourself on level 3, and all the 4 slots on level 1 gets filled, you're going to get 900 reward units. So 450 for this slot here, these 2 slots here, and another 450 for these 2 slots here. That makes you 900, right? Now, 15% of 900 is 135. If you take 135 away from 900, you're going to be left with 765. Okay, now you're going to repeat the same cycle, because we're investors in this business. You're going to take 275 away from 765, and then you are left with 490. Now, every time you cycle in and out of this table, you get 900 reward units. After all your expenses of 15% management fees and you reinvesting yourself back onto this table, you're going to be left with 490 reward units, which equals to euros. Now, guys, there's no limit as to how many times you cycle in and out of this table. It's actually till infinity, right? You just keep coming out, rinsing out, coming back in, right? Taking your the company takes 15%, right? You put 275 back in, and then you got 490. So imagine if you do this, let's just assume 10 times, right? 10 times 490, that gives you 4,900, and you're still in the system, right? And you only came in with 275 euros. Okay, so basically, this explains the Global Smart Table, right? You come in, bring your 2 people, your 2 people do the same thing. They come in on the same marketing incentive program that you registered in, all right? And they also bring in the 2 people, and it's just a multiplier effect, right? People just do exactly what you do. Make sure that you explain to your proteges exactly what the business is all about. Okay, so that is the Global Smart Table fully explained. I'm going to go on to the next table, which is the Pro Table. Now, as you can see, the Pro Table has got more slots than the previous table, right? This has about 13 slots. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, it's got more sections than the previous board. So we got section 1, section 2, section 3, same levels. So we got level 1, level 2, and level 3. And obviously we've got more slots per section on level 1, right? But you don't really have to worry yourself about that. Don't really get yourself worked up about this particular table here, okay? Because it's just so easy. Now, the way this works is this. You know, whenever you come in, okay, from the previous table, which is the Smart Table, you're going to come onto the section where your sponsor is, right? So let's assume, so say for example, your sponsor is Mega Gold. Whenever you're coming in from the Smart Table, you're going to be on this section 1. If your sponsor was Amina Gold, you're going to find yourself on section 2. And likewise, if your sponsor is Adeola Gold, you're going to find yourself in section 3. Okay? So, and that's all you need to bother yourself about. Now, whenever you coming from level 1, obviously, okay? Now, this table gets populated from left to right. As you can see here, okay, that's why the other 2 slots here are empty. The slots here gets populated from left to right. Now, same principle, okay? You come in, find yourself on level 1, okay? Once this guy here catches out, the King James, okay? Whoever table this is comes onto level 3 if you find yourself in level 2, okay? And also remember, you don't have to bring in any other 2 people onto this board either, because the 2 people that you brought in from the smart table are going to come here to qualify you anyways, okay? So you come in level 1, you get pushed down to level 2, and then finally you find yourself in level 3, and then you're ready to cash out as far as your 2 proteges are also coming onto this table to qualify you. Then you're ready to cash out, right? So the investment for this particular table is 450, which is what we used first payment from the smart table. Okay, this table gives you 3,600 rewards units. All right, so section 1, once that gets filled up, gives you 1,200. Section 2 gives you 1,200 once that gets filled up. Section 3 gives you another 1,200 once that gets filled up. Okay. Now, you find yourself in level 3, just like the King James Gold as here. Now, whenever the first 3 slots here in section 1 gets filled, right, you get paid 1,200. Now, now you finally find this section 3 gets filled up. Okay, all the slots gets filled up. Another 1,200 reward units gets paid out. Okay, now you're going to take 450, right, away from that to reinvest yourself back onto this table. Same strategy that we used on the smart table, right? If you take 450 away from 1,200, we're going to be left with 750. Again, that goes into my finances. Now, subsequent cycles, right? Remember that you are not coming back onto this table to repeat another cycle. You don't need to bring in any other 2 people, because the 2 people that you brought in that have qualified you here are always going to be here anyways. All right. So you find yourself in level 3. Now, once you do that and all these 9 slots gets filled up, okay, section by section, 15% of 3,600 is 540. Now, if you take 540 away from 3,600, you're going to be left with 3,060. From the 3,060, again, you're going to reinvest yourself back onto this board, right? And then you are left with 2,610. Folks, again, there's no limit as to how many times you cycle in and out of this table, all right? 3,600, that's what you get, all right? Take 15% of 3,600, okay? You are then left with 3,060. Reinvest yourself back onto this table. Just keep repeating yourself, right? You're then left with 2,610. Again, assuming you've done this 10 times, 5 times, right? You can imagine what you're going to be getting, 2,600 times whatever, okay? And you only started the business